beautiful people. This is first interview that I'm doing in English, and I'm so proud and so honored to present you Desiree Godsell, one of my biggest
Hello.
inspirations and also my teacher. And I'm so super happy that this is happening right now.
Hi, Raquel. Hi, everybody. Hola.
So, hola, hey. She's going good with the Spanish too.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we're about to start. I remember this will be three questions. All right, long
Okay.
questions that you can answer, and then we start again with the short, the preguntas rápidas in Spanish for Desiree, right? So first question for you. How important do you think it's classical or contemporary background for Latin scene dancers? Another question beside, okay? Do you think it's more important for male or female dancers, and why? And in your experience, uh, it's important this background to be an amazing bachata salsa dancer.
Ooh, that's a
Oh,
good question. Well, there's several questions there. Okay, wow. There is a thinking out there that you have to have classical Western style dance training to be a good salsa or bachata dancer. But to me, that has to be broken down into two different categories. If you're talking about becoming a social dancer, what does ballet have to do with bachata or salsa, right?
mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, there's nothing similar about the technique. So I think social dancing, you don't need that. But if we're talking about the culture of Latin dance performance today, if you're talking about like being on stage, um, the way that the scene has progressed,
Yes.
the way that it's moved is into a very fused thing, right? And so if you look at, I mean, mostly everybody's, all of like the top bachata or salsa dancers, they're mixing genres.
Yes.
So whether or not they know it, because sometimes people don't know that what they're doing is coming from somewhere else.
Completely
They're
agree. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They're using dance technique. They're using, or I should say, what dance? They're using like jazz technique, or they're using ballet technique. If it's just winging the foot, or if it's just like the bat mop, or if it's just a pirouette. These are terms that are not coming from just salsa or bachata, right? And I mean, and in general, salsa, I mean, you could go back because it has such a long trajectory. But even what Eddie Torres was doing back in the day was fusing jazz dance with mambo. So, I mean, everything has a fusion. But today, for sure, um, if you want to be on par with what's happening, it is kind of to your benefit to cross train, to do other types of dances so that you can live out your vision artistically, whatever that is, so that you have no limits. Because if you want to do a split, you will learn the technique to do so. If you want to lift your leg higher, you'll learn the technique that's going to support you being able to like do that,
Yeah.
or multiple spins, these types of things. So I do think it's beneficial. Now, again, I will say this though, just because you're good at ballet does not mean that you're going to be good at bachata.
Yeah.
And sometimes for some people, if you don't know how to apply the techniques to what you're doing, it could go in the wrong direction for you. It could be like not a good thing. Maybe the ballet training is making your movements more static and not like, you know, yeah, they're not smooth anymore. They're not grounded because like the opposite is happening, right? In bachata, you want to be grounded, and in ballet, you want to be like lifted. So to know how to take what you need from a technique is really a skill set of a more advanced dancer.
Completely agree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great answer. I mean, great answer.
Oh,
So,
yay! Point for me! Hey!
right, yeah. So we go with the second questions.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, um, should people learn first traditional bachata and after understand the transition to sensual, or do you see they are currently completely different styles?
Okay, that's a really good question too. When I'm like, so nowadays I'm like so almost like anti label, you know, like I just for me the what people see as traditional bachata, it depends on like what the song is, you know, for me. So in that regard, what me and Alex teach is what we just call bachata, and it just so happens like maybe if we put on this song our movements tend to be a little bit more like this, or if we put on this song maybe the movements tend to be a little bit like this, and so vocabulary is added in each different direction based on like the songs that we're choosing. But our classes we teach fundamentals that are just bachata, and you know, talking to like you guys, talking to Corky and Judith, talking to um, George and Tanya, like the basics should be the basics of the dance. Because if the basics weren't the basics of the dance or the ABCs, then it's a different language, right?
Yep.
So I think that whether or not we're dancing more of a super traditional or more of a sensual, but see, it gets like cloudy around the extremes. When super something is like super sensual, that you kind of almost don't recognize it's bachata, or something that's like super, I mean sensual versus super traditional, where like they're doing something that sensual dancers would never do. It gets shady there, but somewhere in between is just the basics, you know, just the ABC. Like the way that you're transferring your weight is going to help you if you understand that, you know, because a lot of sensual dancers stand in place, and maybe a lot of traditional dancers don't understand more of a heightened connection or sensitivity. So like, you know, it could go great for both sides. But I do think that me personally, um, if you're just gonna to answer the question, I would think that it would help them.
Yeah.
In a general sense.
Yes.
If you're saying I'm doing a traditional dance, I think that it would help sensual dancers to learn more of a traditional style first, or just ABCs, because some of the stuff that sensual dancers are doing are it's so advanced. It's like you that is like what you were talking about outside vocabulary. Mm-hmm. That's like a lot of outside vocabulary. If you're talking about yeah, it's almost a different skill set. So I think like they need to learn what the dance is first, and then add all of the sprinkle stuff.
Yeah, yeah. In my opinion, this is the way that Pablo and me teach as well, and I think before start making body rolls, head rolls, body isolations, you need to simple know how to sweep your weight from one leg to another. Like I mean, people want to learn the flashy stuff and they don't care about the base, the root. And for me, yes, you don't have to call it like traditional bachata specifically, but just knowing the fundamentals, as you said before.
Yeah, so, it's like the ABCs. If you don't know the ABCs of your language, then how are you making like how are you making words together? Like how are you making sentences? It just doesn't make sense. And I will even take that one step further into what people are calling lady styling. If you're taking all of these lady styling classes, but you don't know like how to follow, it's really criminal. Or if you don't even understand how to move your feet, but you're moving your arms, it's like that's the last thing that you should worry about.
Yeah.
You know.
True. True. Okay, so third and last question for you.
Okay.
After this hard situation that we are living with the coronavirus, how do you think is going to be our future as dancers? Will it take long to return to normal?
You know what? I have no idea. And that is a thing that is scary because it is the unknown. You know, I watch the news. I try not to watch the news like all the time because sometimes I just need like a woosah from the
Me
news.
too. I don't watch news. It's like with the internet, it's enough.
Yeah,
I don't want to know more. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. I do try to stay informed though, and you know, there are places in America that are opening up, right? And I have dance teams, like some of our franchise teams are meeting to rehearse, you know, 10 people or less, but it's still happening. So, not every area is affected the same. And so, what I can see is that some areas are opening up quicker than others. I know that they're already social dancing in China. Like we've seen videos of
with this thing that I don't know how to say it in English.
The masks.
Just the mask, no?
But you know, not to get like super political right now, but our president is off the chain and so ridiculous now that it's hard for me to think about anything like rational happening, you know? And that's really scary too. So I don't know if it'll ever go back to being like the exact same because who knows, this is such an unprecedented time. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes me appreciate all of those social and especially what we do because we are social dancers and this is different. Like, oh, okay, footwork and you teach this, blah blah blah. But the whole point is to supplement dancing together, you know. And so it's really hard to think about like what that would even look like moving forward. Or are you taking like tests to get into the social? You know, are you doing like I mean, everybody's wearing masks. For me, the mask is so hard to breathe, and my glasses fog up.
It's awful. Like, yeah, it's horrible.
I know that it's important. You know, I know that, and I want to take precautions to make myself safe or to make somebody else safe that I come in contact with. Yeah, like who knows what this is going to be like, you know.
Sure.
Or just the entertainment business in general. Broadway's shut down. Like, you know, when it comes to like essential things, I mean, people are like, oh, it's unessential, but way of life. What is everybody doing now? Everybody's watching TV. That's entertainment. That's the arts. What is everybody, you know, people are still searching for dance classes. People need something to live. They need their spirits to be full and their souls to be satisfied. And that's what art does. So to think about us not having that ever again, it's really hard.
It's really hard, yeah. It's like you cannot say anything because you don't know what's gonna happen.
No. So, but I hope what happens in November is that our president gets the fuck out. Sorry.
I think I will. If I could vote, I would do that, definitely.
I mean, he was telling people to like drink bleach.
Oh my god.
I saw that. Anyway, he's horrible and yes.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay, so we're finished with the first part. So let's start with the short questions for you.
Okay.
Whatever you want, you start eating. You try to. Yeah. Okay. So first question for you. First thing that it comes to your mind when I say bachata.
Dance.
The word you repeat the most.
Like.
Nickname that you had when you were a kid, or family name.
Desi.
Desi. Your favorite song.
Oh my god. Wicked Games. I don't know that. I don't know. Oh my god, is that my favorite song?
Sing it.
I was just listening to it.
Sing it.
Games you play make me feel this way. Wicked things you do make me dream of you.
Nice. You know what? That's my favorite song ever.
What?
I am telling
Shut
you.
up.
Yep, I am telling you.
Listen, when Judith and Quickie did that routine, I was like, ah.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
And
are they in my head?
true. And I told her, I told her, bitch, that's my favorite song. Yeah. That's
oh
right.
my god,
That's
love
right.
that song.
I love it. I love it. Well, we continue. Something you hate about you.
Oh, so many things. Okay, something. Procrastination.
All right. Nice. You always feel embarrassed when.
I have to speak Spanish.
Not true.
Yeah.
But you speak good.
I get like so sweaty and I'm like nervous and I'm ready. I'm thinking about it and I'm getting hot. So bad.
Oh my god. Okay, I continue. Something you hate about Alex.
Oh, he's so lovable.
I know. That's right.
Something I hate about Alex. He never listens to me.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I told you that 10 times. You didn't hear me? He's like, da 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 da.
In his world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you have to choose beach or swimming pool.
Beach.
Okay. Tell me a bad habit that you have.
Oh, there's so many. Oh my god. Bad habit that I have.
The worst.
Oh my gosh, what is okay, a bad habit is just being undisciplined. I don't know if that's or like not doing the dishes.
Well, that's I like that one more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I hate the dishes.
What would you say to your younger self?
Dance more.
Yes. Me too.
Take more classes. You know.
Okay, this is a funny one. Worst situation on stage.
Oh my god. I don't even know if I should share this story. And I even won't say what event it was because then people will look up that performance. But I started my period on stage.
Oh my god. Really?
And when I came off stage, my girlfriend was like, I was so embarrassed. Like the rest of the night, I like just stayed in bed, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
Brought me like all this tequila, and then I was like, "Fuck it!"
Oh
and I
hell.
just like out. But it was so embarrassing. But then a lot of people were like, "Oh, we didn't see it." But I think maybe they just said that because they were trying to make me feel better.
Yeah.
But the girl was like, "No, you really couldn't tell. I just could tell because I was like right in the front row and like looking at you."
Oh.
My costume was like light green.
Oh my god. Crazy.
It was horrible.
Oh my god.
My mom was like, "Why don't you put that on YouTube? You'll get views." I'm
You're
like,
kidding me?
"What? Views for the wrong thing, Mom." Oh my
Crazy,
god.
crazy.
Yeah,
Well,
so that
about that, oh my god, that's about me, but I'm telling you anyway. In a performance in Turkey, the photographer uploaded a photo of me. I was raising my leg, right, and the last part of the tampon. I'm telling you, it was out, and he uploaded the picture, and I was like, Oh my god, I cannot believe you. And that's on
You know
the
what?
internet.
Those people, they don't care. They don't even go through the
Yeah,
photos. They just
yeah.
put all of them online. And I'm like,
Why? Like,
you
this
know,
is a call for dance photographers, please.
yeah,
No.
exactly. One time I was, this is, I know, going off the topic, but I was doing like a photo for like a shoe campaign,
Yeah.
like a dance shoe, and the photographer took this picture where like I clearly was moving and like looking, just it was like a throwaway. Like, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
her face is, you don't use it, and my eyes were kind of crossed in the picture, right? So I guess the photographer sent it to with the lady to the organizer. I mean, like the director of the shoe company,
Yes.
and she uploaded and she was like, "Oh, look at Desiree, she's killing it in her shoes." And I'm like, the it's a picture of me like that, and I'm like, what? Why? First of all, I knew that the picture existed because my girlfriend sent it to me. She's like, Desiree, have you seen this? Then I don't even tell you, it wasn't even 5 minutes later that this guy made a meme out of my face.
No way.
Yeah, like with the car, like the car, like going like this. Anyway, it was so bad. So yeah, there's a lot of photographers out there that do
Yeah.
not pay attention.
Crazy, crazy.
Anyway.
So, well, four last questions, okay? Who is your crush? Huh.
My crush. I have several crushes,
You can tell
but they're
me.
not conventional crushes.
Oh.
Jason. Well, uh, oh my gosh. Now I'm like, what's his freaking name? Oh my god. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay, he's like a scientist. He's like super smart, and he's like brilliant. And I would want to be around him just to like learn things. He's so brilliant. I mean, Neil deGrasse Tyson. And then like my standard crush is Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Oh my god, freaking so hot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I think that's. I mean, I used to have like when I was 16, the hugest crush on Tyson Beckford. He's like a model for Polo, and yeah, he's just was so hot. I was obsessed with him. Like his photos were like on my wall everywhere. Yeah.
So you have several. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay. Something that you are really good at.
I am really good at giving hugs.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And something that you are really bad.
Spanish.
Again.
Again.
Okay. And last questions. Where you would like to be in 10 years?
Oh my gosh, Raquel, these are so good because this is really making me think. I need to like sit with myself and go through these things and journal. 10 years. Wow. Okay. Artistically or what?
The questions
Whatever.
is open, so you can answer whatever.
So, in 10 years, I would like to know more of myself. I would like to be more comfortable with the woman I am. I would like to have a an amazing body of work out there in the world. I would like to have the resources to make more work, right? The resources, whether it's financial or the connections between other artists. Um, yeah, I'd like to continue working that way. I'd like to improve on my own artistry. I would like to have done a one woman show. I'm working on
Cool.
that. I would like to study um, dance anthropology a little bit more, and work more in that way. Um, and I would like to be an awesome mommy and wife.
Yeah. Yeah, great. So we're done. We're finished. Woo! Great.
Thank you,
Thank you
Raquel.
so much, Desiree. I'm so
You're
happy
so
that
awesome.
we were doing this. And I
Yeah,
hope our followers and your followers and dancing people like the interview because they really want to know something more about the artist, not only the dancing. Yes, and
yeah.
we are doing this in this hard period that we are living. And again, thank you so much for being so awesome.
Aw, thank you. I love you and I miss you.
I miss you too.
Woo!